Do it.
What?
Do it.
You're not gonna. Happy Friday. Y'all know I am definitely happy tonight. Anyway, I'm Sonja, and of course, this is Friday with the fellas, Prim and Proper Sports. What's up to everybody? Let me give a shout out to Beat on the Beat, on the Beat, on the Beat. That beat is everything, B. You are the best production out there. Your whole, you, yourself, and you, just the whole squad. And of course, Pink Fanfare, shout out to you for the reels, and shout out to Lawson with his new NFC wild card playoff jersey for tomorrow. Everybody say what's up to Lawson. Guys, how are you? It's Friday. Like, we have already made it through the first week of this year already. This time really waits for no one. How are y'all doing?
Good.
I'm just ducky.
Unfortunately, that's not what Oregon is right now.
Well, before we get there, let me give one huge shout out once again to Jamal Coker, Pop Coker, who joined me on Wednesday night. It was amazing. If you missed the show, it is available on all platforms. We've got a lot of responses for that. I want to thank him so much, especially he is the father of number 18, Jalen Coker, wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. And I know that their team is crunk up, their family is crunk up, and plus he had to travel from Virginia to Charlotte. So I know that, just fitting me in, it just meant the world. So thanks so much, Jamal. Hopefully we can have you guys, both you and Jalen, back on at another time in the future. But y'all, we got a lot to talk about. There's some NBA news out there, but y'all know this is what I've been waiting for all season. And so if I don't get, as the country folks where I'm back home from, another chance to talk about my Panthers, because tomorrow, oh my gosh, I'm going to talk about them tonight. We're going to talk about some college playoff news. We're going to talk about all what B just led to, as well as events that have already occurred in NBA news. And of course, I will allow everybody, I'm going to do the reverse tonight. I'm going to refrain my opinions and actually get true neutral opinions on tomorrow's games. But we, first of all, want to welcome everybody in and thank y'all so much for following us on all the stuff. So let me ask you guys, I'll let y'all do this tonight. Y'all want to start out with college and then flip to the NFL? Like kind of like a building up to the huge climactic event of the real deal, not Holyfield.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Because last night was a big game, and tonight there's one big game going on. But it just seemed to be one-sided.
Ooh. Tell us about that. So we know Indiana be alleged to that. I'm saying the wrong word. Alleged. They're beaten down, guys. And then of course the Canes keep on caning. I mean, this is going to be a unique playoff situation because these are going to be all teams that we have not seen. Have we ever seen them in the finals this close?
Look at this guy.
I thought you were coming on, Fern. What's the sad face for? No, it's not too late. Come on.
Bring your behind on here, bro.
Come on, Fern.
It's Friday night with the fellas.
Oh, by the way, guys, I told B before we started, I ordered my NFC South Championship shirt. It's supposed to get here sometime this weekend. I'm hoping before the game, but if not, I'm sure I'll have a chance to wear it again next weekend when we're playing round 2. So there's that. What's up, Brent? Thank you, Brent. I don't know, but you can take that laughing emoji down. That's what you can do. Okay, just keep a nice compliment. Okay, you watching the game? Okay, Fern. We'll see you. I don't know, 2027. Lawson's on here with his jersey, and he was looking for you, Fern. So thanks for disappointing your nephew. You see him? Lossie, look, Uncle Fern is doing what he does best. All right, you want to go down the couch? All right, guys. So let's talk about those games, though. Real big talk. And by the way, I plugged up my tree just for y'all because, as B knows, I've been having a lot of technical difficulties over the last few days. And I finally decided to come downstairs and use a different device. And I'm actually pleased right now. So, Jamal, if you're listening,
good. That tree looks really good.
Thank you. It's been unplugged since New Year's Eve, but so Jamal, if you're watching, you definitely got to come back. You see how effortless this, event is. So got to come back on. But anyway, yeah, guys. So the big games, J Train, you were speaking about that, and this is history in the making, for real, for real.
Yeah. So last night, the Fiesta Bowl comprised of both Miami Hurricanes that are back in the fold. Ray Lewis was at the show.
Oh my Lord!
I forgot who else was there. And class, shout out to Ray Lewis. At the end of the game, as I'm about to allude to, that Ole Miss lost the game, but they barely lost. It came down to the wire. As our colleague Keith Engel said, it was a classic. It ended up being a great game. You're going to see this game show up on the classic ESPN, coming down to the wire. Both Carson Beck, Trinidad Shamblers, they were showing out. They showed up and showed out on both sides, and it just again came down to the wire, man. And what I mentioned about Ray Lewis being a class act, as both Kawan Lacey was sad and crying and walking back to the locker room, he stopped them all. He stopped them and encouraged them and told them that, like, look, sometimes losing is what's going to sharpen you. When you're on the battlefield, that's going to sharpen you and make you better for the next game that comes. And so he was just encouraging him, and he also encouraged the team. And that was just a big class act, man. I mean, I know Ray Lewis get a lot of flack when we talk about, the things that happen, in court years ago. Yeah. Yes, exactly. But I mean, my man's he's been squeaky clean since then. And so, shout out to him. But look, the Hurricanes, they just coming out of nowhere. They won that game against Texas A&M, and they didn't look back. They got their toes in the door barely, because it was between them and Notre Dame getting into the playoffs. They got in, and man, they never looked back. And now Miami is one game away from a national championship, and no one would have thunk it. I didn't. I didn't think Miami was going to be in this position, to be honest with you. And so the Canes, yes, the Canes look like they're back, and they are. Look, Malachi Toney was a beast, a true freshman. Fletcher, the running back, he had 114 yards, I believe, in the game, and 2 touchdowns, 2 tutties. He's been motivated. His father died, I believe, not too long ago. And everybody just rallied around him, and he's just been a tear in the playoffs. And so Miami looks like they're ready to go. And it's unfortunately for the other side with Ole Miss, because Trinidad Shamblers just found out today that his waiver was denied. So that may have been his last game. That may have been his last game in college football. And it's unfortunate because what the deal is right here. This is the deal. He made a 6-figure income, roughly around $400,000 for this season. He surpassed that. He totally outplayed that this season. And so he was trying to get another year. And if he got another year, he would have been in the $4, $5, $6 million range. And that's 7-figure income. And if he and his lawyer are going to try to appeal that, but it may not happen. It's just because what the deal is with the NCAA, they have to have indisputable evidence that you had some serious medical condition in order to get that extra year. And there was nothing there for him. And so they may try to find it. They keep their fingers crossed. But this is the situation with LSU and him. That's the reason why they passed him up and they try to go to different quarterbacks. And that's a whole other story with LSU. I'm not going to get into that right now. But that's unfortunate for him. But he's good enough to me to get drafted and to try to make a team in the NFL. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's really bad. Really sad for Trinidad. But I think, honestly, and then I'll let B speak on that as well. This kind of got mixed up with the pandemic, y'all. Like, they're starting to be a whole bunch of eligibility years because, we didn't see certain players, or they were I mean, they were red shirting so long. They literally started out with a red shirt. It went to fuchsia, then it went to pink, then it went to white, then they went to the field. And I guess now everybody's like, hey, we are 6 years removed from the pandemic. We have to move on. You cannot have who is it? Carson Beck, 30 years old almost out there. And all these guys from UGA who were coming into, the league at 28, 29. Like, dude, wait a minute, you been home? Nope, I've been playing. Okay, so there has to be a line somewhere. I mean, B, what do you think? I mean, I hated it fell on Trinidad himself specifically, but the axe swings both ways, as they say, and sometimes you're on the wrong end of it.
Well, I mean, it's bad for the young man. I mean, he can turn into something good. Positives can come from this. He'll probably go into the NFL now, obviously. I don't know where he'll fall in the draft, but he's a plausible quarterback. I'll give it to you that way. He's a good enough quarterback. I don't think he's a starting quarterback right now in the NFL, but I mean, this is going to happen when you have that kind of thing going on, a pandemic. Nobody saw that coming either. So it is what it is. That's all I can say. And it just sucks for him because he can't get a 6th year. So, but make lemons, make lemonade out of lemons. That's what I say. He could do it.
I'm going to say this, and I'll let you go, Sonja.
No,
there's another side to this coin that we're talking about here. When guys are trying to extend their career in college, It's almost like the WNBA. Some of these guys are not going to make the money that they're making in college, in the NBA. I mean, the NFL. Once they get to that level, some of these guys are either going to be late round draft picks. Some of these guys are going to be UDFAs, undrafted free agents, and they're going to make more money. They stand to make more money being in the college realm than they do in the professional, or I dare say professional, because they're both professional now. They're getting paid on both ends in the NFL. So and also you still can build more character. Look at Tyler Shuck. He was in college for 7 years. I mean, mind you, a lot of it was due to injury, but he was there for 7 years, and he got drafted as a 26-year-old quarterback. And a lot of that experience helped him out. Who knows if he will be the same Tyler Shuck that he is today if he got drafted 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know that. So I can see why, again, a Trinidad Shamlis is trying to get that extra year because he wants to get a little bit more experience and he wants to get that paycheck. And not kid yourself. And I would too if it were me. If the shoe was on the other foot, I would definitely be in there trying to get that money and get that guaranteed paycheck right there, and then try to win the championship and then go to the pros.
Yeah, you made a good point, James. And I literally was just thinking about that. Before I do that, let me give a huge thank you. I never say thank you, and I want to stop right here and thank all the groups that allow us to share this platform. There's a lot of Panther groups right now that have not just allowed me to share tonight, but because they know that I have the Pantherettes fan club. I don't even know those gentlemen. Keep pounding. They have 20,000 members. They have allowed me to share this stream for over a year, probably 2 or 3 years now that I think about it. I want to thank you all, and I'm saying that because I just noticed they preview. So everybody this post is not getting approved, but they always approve me, and I want to thank them, and I want to thank all of the Carolina Panther pages. I literally just shared the 30 pages, so it's too many for me to run through. But thank you all, and thank you to all the NFC South groups, the NFC groups, and all the platforms that allow us to share every week without hesitation. Thank y'all so much. I was going to say, J-Train, you brought up a good point. Some of these guys are not going to go in the league. Some of these guys are not going to make as much money. It's either going to be either one. Either they don't go, or they go and they're not going to make as much money. But on the flip side of that, like I don't know if it was you or B just said, I don't know what draft order. The longer these guys stay in college, the lower their draft is going to be because you're getting older. And you see that a lot of teams, they look for youth. I mean, it's just how life is. They want to have the healthiest, youngest player. Case in point, I don't remember how old he was when he was drafted, But Michael Penix Jr. to the Atlanta Falcons, he had already had 4 surgeries in college. And yes, his last season or 2 was injury free, but he had already had an injury to every quadrant of his body. And we see it. His first full season as a starting quarterback, he did not last the duration because something was re-aggravated. So I kind of want to talk about that, guys. I mean, that's something I personally, well, you guys are guys. Would you be in a position where you'd be like, hey, let me just do my 4 years? Because, when we all grew up, that's what it was. It was 4 years and that was it. You may hear of a 5th year every now and then, but it was very rare. And it was usually someone who had started college younger. And so they kind of redshirt them until they became 18, 19, until they could take the field. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think in the era of football back in the day, when, like you mentioned, you just mentioned so eloquently in regards to 3 years or 4 years in college, there was no pay at that time. There was no money at that time. So I'm looking to go to the league. I'm looking to go, and it's like I have no one other choice but to make some money, and so I got to try my luck. If I'm a middle of the road player, or if I'm just right on the cusp of being that just barely making that 53-man roster, I'm still going to try and get there, because the average career in the NFL is 3 years, 3 seasons. Believe it or not, it's only 3 seasons. Yep.
I didn't know that.
I don't know if the stats have changed on that, but yeah. And if you're a practice squad guy, you can make a 6-figure income, being a practice squad guy. Now, you might not have a long career because they don't really allow those guys to stay there. I think they have a period where they can only stay in that area, and then they got to go on and do something else if they don't make it up or move on. But with that said, I still would take my chances then. But now, NIL is a major deal. You can get money on top of money, and they have the shared agreement. What is it? The revenue share? It's not just NIL. You're also getting that as well. So more money on top of the money you're getting, and so it's just more lucrative for a player to be in college. These guys don't want to leave. I don't blame them.
Yeah. What do you think, B? I mean, that is a good point. We didn't have, it was like that college was your platform to get to the NFL. And that's all you were using it for. You weren't getting, I don't know, I think you guys, the first deal we saw, we saw sports with Michael Jordan, of course. But for the NFL, but even then, he was already in the league. We didn't see him at Carolina getting endorsements when he was there at Chapel Hill. Like, I don't even know who the first athlete was that broke that barrier, but it is a frenzy now. And like we've talked about on other shows last year, B, before you joined us, me and J Train, where is the cap? Where is the line? Because it's almost like, if this person's got $5, I want 501. And, it just goes up from there. But it's a big point that he made up. College, it's almost like it's not even for fun anymore. It's just to get your opportunity to put your talent on display to get into the league. And you're using it as a business advantage. And to be true, that's why you also get these endorsements, because you're marketing yourself. Your name becomes a brand, thus the NIL deal. Right, B?
Yeah, the league is apples and oranges compared to what it was before. In some ways, that was a good thing in the league before, because players played to get to a level, and now it's just to play to get in. This is why we have not the greatest drafts in the world anymore in professional football, because the players they're just playing in there and they come in. They call it the cream of the crop, but there's no cream of the crop no more, because the money. I want the players to get paid in college, but the point of the matter is a lot of money is going to distract them from doing anything else. So they might be the absolute next, Tom Brady, Barry Sanders, Jerry Rice, but because they got paid already, and they're like, I don't want to go to NFL. I mean, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? You're missing out on some good players that can come into the NFL. And I just think that's part of the problem when you play the players in the in college, is that you don't have that push like you did before NIL came into existence. You don't have that. I want to get into the NFL because I want to get paid, A, and B, I want to be, get to the professional level and show my skills. You don't have any of that really anymore. There's a very few players in college that'll do that, but it's not as many as like it used to be. So in a way, the NIL is good because it helps the students out and pays them for their because the colleges make a lot of money off of them anyway. But at the same time, it also gives them that option. Like, let me get my $4 million, $8 million up out of here, and I'll chill because I'm majored in economics. I'm majored in finance. I can do something with this money. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to go to NFL. I need to do that and get my crown killed because I'm trying to make some money.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to think about.
That's the sense. That's the sense. Yeah. They get enough injuries already in college because half of them don't put into work to condition themselves. And what that happens, and then you got those same players that come into the NFL, the ones that do come into the NFL. That's why the conditioning is so bad in the NFL. That's why you see so many injuries now. Their players used to play in 365 days used to be football players back in the day. But back in the day, it'd be like maybe early 2000s, maybe 2010, maybe up to that point. Players used to condition themselves all year round. There's none of this, I'm going to go out and be on a vacay for about 3 weeks to Cabo. No. There's no vacations. None. No vacations. You stay your butt at home. You get that work done. So,
yeah. Well,
I don't know. It's just a whole change of the guard, basically, to me, as far as the players are concerned. But
yeah. So to that end, and that was very good dialogue. You guys are always like, between you and James are always like the historians, and y'all bring in like all the information that I'm like, dang, I missed that. I'm sitting here thinking like I know the bigger picture, but you guys know like the roots. So thanks, guys. That's why we are a great trio. All right, so we talked about last night's game. Was there any super highlights you wanted to point out from that game before we move on to the game that's going on right now, J Train? I know you
just in the last of the fourth quarter, there was a couple of lead changes between both teams. That's where it got really exciting, and it came down to the wire where Miami came back with Carson Beck running an 11-yard touchdown in the end zone with about 32 seconds left, and then they had Ole Miss had the ball, and they got to around the 30 and 38, and they had a few seconds left. They had enough to throw a Hail Mary that didn't, that fell short. Yes, it fell short.
That's rough. All right, so well, kudos to the Canes getting it done. I must admit, I have to have a moment, as they said, come to Jesus moment. What's up, Tony? How you doing? I know you guys are lit in the Carolinas. Mm-hmm. We'll get to those games in just a minute. So I just, ever since the Panthers played the Patriots earlier this season and got like shellacked, I just have this love-hate relationship for Keith Engle and any of the teams he pulls for. I know that he roots for the Canes because of his wife, but I really I want them out. You hear me? I want them out. I want the Patriots out. I want them out the first time they play, and that's it. So these Canes, wow. So I know, I know Michael Irvin is excited.
Tell us how you feel, really.
Yeah, petty. Keith, sorry, I'm petty. I am petty because I know Keith is real knowledgeable, and so it's not like he's just a fan. He brings like a lot of information about why he thinks certain things, and it's always true. And it's just like between him and Bo, I can't catch a break. Bo had a whole Bo Crouch football talk with Bo, one of our other friends, and he's always on with J Train and B and Jack and
unprofessional
on Wednesday night, the unprofessional sports. I feel like some kind of way when y'all say that, I almost feel like I am the reason why that is there, even though I'm not there right now. I feel like I'm the one that took the train off the tracks and you guys just kept it off after I left. So every time I see the title, I think that. So funny.
Well, as much as I love you for everything that you do for all these shows, Sonja, that's not the reason.
Well, good. I feel better.
We've created our own reason why we've taken the rails off, the train off the rails. Believe me, many times.
Bo came up with a whole list that he provided evidence for of coaches he felt like was going to get fired, and everybody has been fired off that list but one person. I'm like
8 and 9. That dude was on a roll.
The record that the Panthers have, which we'll talk about in just a minute. No, is it 8 and 7? No, we're 8 and 9.
Mm-hmm, you're 8 and 9.
Yeah, it's so hard to believe that we're only 500. Godly. So anyway, all right, let's talk about the game tonight. B, we'll give that about 3 minutes, and then we'll use the last half for our NFL because we are ticking towards 9:30. Believe it or not.
Well, the game between Oregon and Indiana is really not a game at this point. It is 35-7 at halftime. Yes. Indiana has taken advantage of 3 turnovers. One was a pick 6, and 2 were fumbled inside the Oregon's territory, picked up by Mario Landino. Mario Landino's got both of the fumbles, so he's been Johnny on the spot for Indiana is putting it on them. They're putting it on them. They're like, okay, yeah, we see you, Miami, but watch this. That's what they're saying right now. I have no doubt in my mind, unless Indiana really has a bad second half, I have no doubt in my mind Indiana is the national champions because they are playing out their mind right now. They are playing out their mind.
With their eyes blindfolded backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it is. Saying, okay, Miami, we see you down there. Look at us.
Mm-hmm.
Check this out.
That's exactly what they're doing.
35-7 at the halftime. It's like you don't even want to see the second half when it's that bad.
Oh, let's not jinx it, man. I think back to 35-7 back in 1992. Buffalo versus Houston Oilers. I'll never forget. They came back and won that game with Frank Reich, not even Jim Kelly. And they won that game. And I was heartbroken because I was a Houston Oilers fan and I didn't want to see that. I'm a Warren Moon fan. I'm a Warren Moon fan. And that really broke my heart seeing that happen like that. And I don't want to see Indiana. I picked Indiana to win the whole thing from the beginning. So I want to see them win. I want to see them get to the championship and be the first time ever, right? I don't think they've never won the championship, right?
No.
They went from ugly ducklings to swans in a matter of a couple of seasons with Kirk Signetti.
Well, they're definitely playing the ugly ducklings right now.
I will say this.
Hey, and think about this too. Think about this. They're really. It was 28-3 against Alabama at halftime. Now it's 35-7 against Oregon, who is way better than Alabama. Yeah, I think Indiana is trying to make a statement in this. They really shown. I think they think they're disrespected, to tell you the truth. I think they're carrying that chip on their shoulder. So it is what it is.
And that's why I brought it up, because I knew one of y'all would have a nice fun fact. Like, Jay, I don't even know how you go in your brain and just pull this out, because if I remember, we were kids.
Because he's the man. He's the man.
Like the freaking Oilers, I think we were under 12 when that happened. Like,
yes,
Jay and I are the same.
No, 1992. No, we were 17.
92 was when the Oilers were still here in 92.
Yes, they were still the Oilers.
So crazy.
I was 20.
They moved in 97, 98 or something like that. Somewhere around
there. Tennessee. Wow, it feels like longer than that. So, okay, well, yeah, we were seniors in high school.
I like Houston too because of Earl Campbell. That was my guy.
Oh, man. Tyler Rose. Campbell.
Yes, right.
Tyler Rose.
This was during the time, like, and I have to admit this was during the time that my dad and my uncle were watching football, and I was like, hurry and turn that off so I could watch what I wanted to watch. And now look at me. So you were just being
girly. That's all. It's all right.
Well, no, I was a tomboy. Honestly,
she was a tomboy. Yeah,
I was a tomboy. Like, I got friends that know we used to play ball in the streets, and I had a basketball goal that My dad had got for me for Christmas, like in 3rd grade, and we had a tornado that came through and destroyed it. So
damn.
Yeah, they didn't put it back up because they felt like it was too many boys over at the house. So, I mean, I wasn't thinking about them boys like that, but you know how that goes. You're about to be.
They were thinking about you, probably, though. Guarantee it.
Yeah. So as you as we get ready to go ahead and move on over to the NFL. All right. So may the better team win. Y'all know, like the Dogs aren't in it, LSU ain't in it, Michigan ain't in it, and thank God. And I hope he's still watching. The Ohio State was eliminated early and about. They took that trash up out of there like the Giants. Same trash truck.
Picked overrated up both teams. That's what I call them. Overrated you.
Oh God, that's why Fern don't want to come over here, honey. None of your teams is doing nothing. Lord have mercy.
Oversaturated you.
Yeah. Right.
Saturated you. All right, guys. So tomorrow is at least for me, it's the big day. I really did try to get to Charlotte for all y'all Panthers fans that are watching. I tried to get there, but let me be honest with y'all. When I saw the weather report, because I was like, okay, even if I don't get a ticket, I'll just go and be part of the experience because it's so much going on in the city tonight and last night. And I guess they better hurry and get it all out the way because it's raining here in Atlanta now. So it's coming your way sometime tonight. But they are talking about, they have been putting up weather reports all day talking about possible delay of the kickoff because of lightning strikes that they're worried about in the stadium. And the game already is at 4:30, y'all. Okay, I don't know if they waiting for a sunset kickoff or what, but this is what kind of gets into my nerves as to this team is 30 years old and doesn't have a cover over their stadium, doesn't have an opportunity to even have an option. I know people are like, keep football, but at this point, that's dangerous. You're not playing in that, and you're soaking and baptizing your fans. I've been to the Bank of America, the bank as we call it, when it's raining, and I remember having a poncho on and it did nothing for the rain. You understand? Like it was almost like having on a clear big hole. Nothing was covered, anything. And so I'm sorry, I'm more bougie in my older years than I was back then. And I'm not trying to go out there and get my makeup looking like I got coffee running down my face. I'm not doing that. And so I'll be watching from the comfort of my home tomorrow. Kudos, Cam Newton. We got him back. Thank you, everybody, for the push across social media. He will be beating the drum, and he's doing his show. Fourth and one.
Pink said he'll be at the tailgate.
I'm getting ready. I'm literally getting ready to say that. Pink's not on. Pink, you're not on this show, so we hope you got all your stuff yesterday. This is my show. Thanks, B. I love you. Pink had her own show. They were hosting the opposing people, hosting the opposing counsel, as they say, the night before the game. No, you don't put the enemy up there on the platform the day before the game. I don't care. I'm not one of these people with all that super fan come by y'all stuff. No, I'm that fan that's angry if we lose. I'm not hugging and greeting and none of that. Honey, I'm Caleb Williams when we lose, okay? I'm Aaron Rodgers and his worst attitude when we lose.
Paint your fingernails?
Paint my fingernails and walk off. I don't greet nobody. I'm all that. And so for me, get them on the show after they lose. Don't put them up there the night before. Don't put them up there 48 hours before.
You're the 1992 Pistons. That's what you are.
I am. Bad girl.
After handshake. We don't care about y'all.
Absolutely. You call me Ron Artest. I'm running in the stands on people. So, yeah. So, anyway, I won't be there. I was going to even take Lawson up there. He's got his jersey, but like I said, the elements, and then that's 4 hours, and then people drive really crazy, and it's going to be dark when that's done. I'm just going to use a little common sense on this one and watch from the comfort of my home, but I will possibly be doing a watch party. I'll start it in the second half this time. I will not do a first half because we see what happened with the 49ers, and I let Pink talk me into still rolling. And I don't want to see that tomorrow. So anyway, I did say I would get B and James' take on. Let's talk about that first game, 4:30 tomorrow. It's going to be on Fox for everybody. Bank of America Stadium. The Panthers, the lower seed in the entire playoff scenario. Both AFC and NFC team, 8 and 9. Not even 500, y'all. But we here, and we're going to make the most of it. But the Rams are the lowest seed. That's just what everybody's disgusted about. The Panthers are the 4th seed, and the Rams are 7. And folks are talking about they need to change the rules. Nah, boo, change your team. But anyway, What are you guys most looking forward to in this game, and what has been the most shocking thing that you've heard leading up to this game? And then I'll go, and then we'll talk about the next game.
Go ahead, Jane.
Okay, so look, there's already a layout. You already mapped schematics of how you can go into this game and play and beat this team. You beat them already. You already beat them. Bryce Young had a astounding game, 203, 3 TDs, and the defense showed up. Your defense showed up and showed out. They intercepted Matthew Stafford twice. And it's not like Devontae Adams wasn't in the game. He was in the game. He and Puka Nacua was in the game as well, and you shut them down. You just have to repeat that. I know they're going to come in. I know McVay's going to come in with a different game plan. He's going to come in ready to take y'all down. He's got the playoff experience. Your team doesn't have the playoff experience. Everybody from that 2015 team is gone, except you got Cam Newton in the building right there.
Well, correction. At least 8 of them are coming tomorrow. They're already there. Jonathan Stewart, good. Trey Boston, yes. Like they're there for the hypeness. Kuechly, I think, is coming. A whole bunch of them have said they are in the bank, so they're there for moral support.
They should be.
They just can't take
good.
The field.
Exactly right. Kuechly coming out of retirement, that'd be great. Look, but I just think that come in ready to play. If you're Bryce Young, I give you advice, sir. Come there with your game plan. I know you smile and do all this and that. I need you to be mad. I need you to be fierce. Come out there and just light that team up and lead your team to victory. And I think you can do it. I believe they already did it, like I said, in the regular season. I think they have a good opportunity to do it at home in the same place, same time. And I'm going to take the home team here. I'm going with the Panthers in the win.
Oh, thanks, James. Yes.
That's why you went first, James, because I'm going to be opposite to you now.
Before you start, though, B, let me just say this, because J Train and I have some very passionate debates on the shows from time to time. I remember the first time we got loud, I was shocked that James got loud. But let me just say this. He is a true gentleman. A couple of weeks ago, I was livid, not at him, but just very passionate when it comes to my Panthers in his heart. He was a true gentleman. He muted his line, muted the mic. We could have been both screaming over each other. He let me go ahead, and then he said, "Are you finished?" And then he spoke. I want to thank you for that, brother, because for you, especially to be in the same division, and to be such a gentleman and to still be not biased and respectful. I told B just what B we was talking a couple days ago, and I said I literally have to be more mindful. I talked to B for about an hour after my Wednesday show backstage, and I was like, you know what? I rewatched the show and I'm embarrassed. I was like, I showed my butt. I need to know how to disagree with somebody without going to my high voice. I need to know how to poise, because there's no way I'm going to be in the professional world screaming at somebody because they don't agree with my opinion. I'm going to get tossed up out of the courtroom. And so I was like, dang, you can't I literally, because I meditate every day. I literally watched the show and was like, man, I was so wrong. So even though it was a debate, I did not do that in the right way. And I want to apologize, because I do need to have some reserve. And at the end of the day, I'm still a lady. I mean, I know I'll be kind of gangster and stuff. Like, I don't, I'll be like, don't let this fool you. I'm like still really a tomboy at heart. But I just want to say, that I apologize for that. And J Train, thank you for being a gentleman, because I had just lost my head. Not at you, but just the situation. And I just wanted somebody to see what I was saying. And, when you be looking for somebody to interact with, you ain't had nobody to interact. It's just like, you just unleashed. So thank you for that. I really,
you're just passionate. That's all. I got you. I feel you. I'm passionate too. That's why I said, I had to tell myself, I said, wait, hold on. We're not going to get nowhere. Let me just chill out, hit that mute button. Like Yosemite Sam got to go run to the top of the hill.
I'm replaying the whole thing in my head. And don't act like James came out here talking about, are you done yet? Like real quick. He was like, are you done yet?
No, he didn't. When he unmuted, he was like, you done? You done?
Yeah,
that's how he
but
said.
He said it with an attitude too. Like, are you done?
No, what he said with an attitude was later when I was talking about the Bucks being 5 and 8. He said, did you say something about the Aints? I said, no,
right,
said they lost 7 of the last 8. He said, I thought you said the Aints.
You pressed each other's buttons on that. Yeah, you pressed each other's buttons on that one. That was for sure. That was hilarious, though. That made for good podcasting, though. I gotta tell you that.
For sure.
It's kind of like when it's kind of like when my compadres on the One Ass Cheating Three Toes show. They go at each other, Nate and Jay. Oh, that's awesome.
They really do. They really do. All right, B. So go ahead and bring your knife
laughing.
out. Go ahead and bring your knife out so you can stab.
No, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be. No, everybody has a chance to win in the playoffs. It's not. That's the whole point with these games. But I think the weather actually might even improve that chance for the Panthers, because the Rams are a passing team mainly, and what usually stops passing? Weather. And if it's raining like a deluge down there, ain't nobody passing. The game is going to come down to running in the trenches, and it's whoever can stop the run is going to probably win that. If that rain continues, that field's going to be sloppy.
So many people complain about our field in the rain. We've been hearing it for years.
Yeah, so I mean, there you go, and that definitely works in your favor, because they don't play on a field like that. They play in SoFi, in a stadium that's partially enclosed, so they don't have that issue. And it's in LA. I mean, how often do they have deluges? You know what I'm saying? Earthquakes maybe, but deluges no. So it'll be the benefit of the Panthers in that regard. So that should shift your money line a little bit. Although, first of all, Las Vegas, who are you trying to fool? 10.5. Who you think some people out there, some suckers? That's what you think they are. No, bro. You need to get a different line than that one. So I probably would reduce it all the way down to like maybe 2.5 to 2 points at the most for LA, even that part. But this game, if the weather persists like that, Carolina's got a really good shot at winning this game.
Question: Is Blake Corum playing?
Yeah, he'll be in this game.
So he's playing. Yeah, and so I'm about to say that was going to be a bigger issue, is whether or not the health of Blake Corum, because I know he wasn't healthy in one of those last games or so, and Kyron Williams, their running game, that would help them in this game, especially if it's raining like that. But I like the Panthers front seven too, though.
Just to go against your caveat, the game before when they lost, the Panthers weren't stopping their receivers. Devontae, when he was out, he got injured. That's the reason why he wasn't there for the rest of the game. But he had catches for 4 for 5 yards for 2 touchdowns. Nobody was covering him. The one that was missed was the pick 6. So he that would have been 5 for 5 if he would have caught that. But that was a good read by Jackson. And then Puka Nacua went the hell off. So the weather is going to be a big part of that, because if Stafford doesn't make the mistakes that he made in the last game, and I'm sure that's going to be on his mind, man, he's going to be like, I got to watch what I do. And so he's going to be a little bit more cautious with that ball. I mean, he might still try to zip it in there because that's who Matthew Stafford is. But at the same time, he's going to be remembering, hey, I ain't trying to do all that. I got to win this game. But the weather might not permit him to do that. So it might be a running game. And let me tell you something. I know Kyron Williams is a good running back, but Blake Corum, that dude's a punisher. And he goes up against, Dottle is great. Hubbard is great. There's another running back that you guys got too, isn't there? The third running back you had when Hubbard was out for a minute.
Yeah.
I like him. He's another good running back.
Not the guy from Texas, is he? The rookie? I mean, he was a rookie last year. He got hurt. It's not him, huh?
He's not, I don't think he's even playing.
I can't even think of.
No, he got hurt again, right? Yeah.
I'll figure it out. Well, I'll put it to you guys like this. Hang on one second, guys. I'm trying to find out that guy's name.
Yeah.
because it's on the tip of my tongue. His name is Trevor Etienne.
Yeah, Trevor Etienne.
Oh yeah, the brother.
The brother of yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that dude. He's better than his brother. He's better than his brother.
Yeah, we have him in there for some plays. He comes in still from time to time. I don't think he's officially a third string yet. They kind of just rotate off on everybody. Okay,
Travis Etienne is the brother. Yeah, Travis.
Yes,
Travis,
for Jacksonville.
Yes, he just gets hurt, but when he's not hurt, he's good.
That's so odd that they both are playing for the same teams that came into the league at the same time and have like very similar stuff going down. Except Jacksonville.
Kitty cat teams.
All right, I'm gonna hurry up because we got like a few minutes left. We may go over a couple of minutes just so I can squeeze in everything y'all want to talk about too. Let me make this real quick because I know y'all got an early morning in the morning. Make sure you join in for the debate show at 8 a.m. right here, guys. Gonna be J Train, B Strilla, and Grouchy Jack. I mean, Mr. Hirsch, Jack Hirsch. All right, so this is my thing on it. And it's kind of in between, believe it or not, even though I'm a fan, I'm a realist. And so my opinion literally is right down the middle of both of y'all, because as a fan, I'm like, hey, we beat them before, they about to bring some rain again. Like the NFC West teams are always bringing rain over here. Like Seattle did the same thing, this whole deep fog, and like, come on, dude. So anyway, they say it never rains in Southern California. Not only that, these guys play inside SoFi. So they're not used to really playing outside the elements, or are they? This is Matt Stafford, the former quarterback of the Detroit Lions, who has played in Ford Stadium, but who has also played in these NFC North teams who do play in the elements, like the Chicago Bears, the Green Bay Packers. I could go on and on. So they've seen wet, they've seen wind, they've seen cold. They don't care. The only advantage that we have, other than making sure that our defense stays in the game, that Bryce continues to be a game manager. Y'all can call him anything, not you two, but I'm saying the audience. Say anything you want to say about Bryce being a game manager, whatever it takes to get that dub. The last time it was 3 points, and it was barely that. We need the defense to stand up, stay in the game, and we need Bryce to continue to run the clock and continue to dominate the clock. And I think, like I always say, if you don't want them to score, keep the offense off the field. So if you can just wear down their defense, and you don't have to worry about Corum and Stafford and Puka and all these other folks he got in Devontae, because they are stacked, but so are we. On paper, we are the 5th team to make it into the playoffs with a losing record in NFL history. So 5 and 4 are one of my favorite numbers. I'd like to think I'm a 5, I'm Zeta. By the way, small plug. Happy Founders Day to my brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And happy Founders Day to all the J5s, Kappas, Deltas, Zetas, my Sigmas, and of course, and the AKAs as well. It's from this past couple of days ago all the way up until the mid part of the month. It'll be J5, and that's for all the January 5th, the 5 organizations. So next Friday is my Founders Day, and I'm gonna have to pop in and pop out. So anyway, my theory is 10 points is absolutely crazy. I don't know what y'all were thinking, but that goes back to what I was saying Sunday. Even though Jack tried to eat me up and Keith tried to eat me up on this, nobody wants the Panthers to do anything. There's a reason that they put 10.5 points. They literally think we're trash. And so, like J Train said, I hope Bryce goes in there with that mentality. Like, oh, okay, y'all really think we are trash? Because we do have the worst record. I mean, the proof is on the paper. We literally had to depend on the lower 2 teams in the division, who literally, it almost was a 4-way tie. James, how many games did y'all end up being behind the Panthers? 2? 1? Close.
I'm not sure.
I think close it was 2 because you guys lost to Atlanta.
That was the only reason. But that's what I'm saying.
That's right. Yeah.
Can you imagine a freaking 4-way tie for 4 teams in the same division? What a mess. What a freaking mess. We had to literally hope that Atlanta cashed in on our insurance policy that we did by sweeping them. And God forbid we hadn't swept them. What would have happened then? What would have happened then? So kudos, Atlanta. Hope you enjoy your off season. Heal up fast, Penix, but Kirk is your guy. And all them coach firings. Let me hurry up and get to my stuff. Anyway, the Rams are a different Rams team in the playoffs. Everybody's, I had to catch myself for a minute because I forgot we were on live. They're out there basically holding Matt Stafford's male parts up, making sure he's good and wiping up behind him and everything because he's king of, the NFC as far as anything. They just, this part of the year, the Seattle Seahawks decided they were going to stand up. But let's be clear. The weather is going to help us out at the end of the day. It's not going to be a pass game like B says. And I don't normally pray about games, but I've prayed and I think the Lord has answered. And he is going to go ahead and bring in a tsunami tomorrow. And I don't care if somebody has just fallen in the end zone for the final point. It is what it is. It's going to be a muddy game. So many teams have complained about our turf for years. Even back when we went to the Super Bowl before Seattle, everybody was out there saying they had to change cleats because the turf is garbage. I think we play on real grass. That's why. They don't treat it or nothing. They just let it grow and cut it down. So if whatever we have to do tomorrow, y'all make sure you put baby powder on your hands and everything to get better grips of these balls. I've got my Panthers doing it. It's going to be a close one, and it's going to be a low-scoring game because of the elements. This is going to probably be a 9-7 game at the end of the day. I think this is going to be, you see the last time, both teams only got a field goal, and that's how it went all the way down, with Tampa Bay, and it was messy that day, and that's how we have it. Panthers are 31-28 for that last match, but Matt Stafford, as we talked about, he's been surgical, but that's what everybody's describing him of. Okay, it's time for you to hang up your gloves and your operating kit because the game is over, Matt Stafford. Bryce has grown. They are getting ready to probably exercise the 5th-year option on him because they're not ready to really commit with him fully because he has shown improvement going from 2 games his rookie year to 5 games last year to just 3 more games. I mean, but hey, we're in the playoffs, and I think that's the difference maker is the fact that we're actually some kind of way in the wild card. So this is our first title in the decade. I know, like I said, Charlotte is lit. And I'm thinking 9-7 tomorrow. Let's move it on over real quick to the Green Bay Chicago game. B, I'll let you start with that because that's the NFC North. Who you got? 8:15 tomorrow on Prime Video.
I got Chicago in this. I think Green Bay is at a point where they're missing a lot of their players, really strong players. As a matter of fact, they're missing their center. They're missing Micah.
Yep.
And that has shifted the defense really badly because Rashad Gary was feeding off of whatever Micah Parsons was doing. He had a great year, but he had not shown up in the last 3 or 4 games since Micah has been gone. So that's a telling sign right there. Their secondary is, I mean, I don't know how much Diggs is going to help their secondary. But I tell you one thing, all Chicago has to do is run dig routes and just go straight post on Diggs, and he'll be out of the picture pretty soon. But I got faith. And Chicago's defense ain't great either. They depend on turnovers to win games. I mean, to get their defense going. But in the end of the day, I think Jordan is not quite there yet. I think Caleb has taken a step. I think they'll win that game. I think they're going to win by a touchdown. I just think that Green Bay is just out of it mentally. They're in it, but they're out of it mentally. They got that pride, but they're not going to. Yeah, Chicago is in it for the first time. That crowd's going to be nuts there in Chicago. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I think it's supposed to be kind of okay. They might be raining there too. But Ben Johnson's got that offense rolling. I mean, I just don't see now saying that if they do win, they're not going to make it past the next round because of that defense. Because they're going to go up against better competition than Green Bay as far as offensively. And they're just going to – you see what San Francisco did to them. And San Francisco's really – nobody's even counting San Francisco to go all the way through the playoffs.
Not anymore.
It's just – yeah, I just – but they're going to win that game. I have a feeling they're going to win that game. They got the good running backs too. They got Swift and Monungai.
Yeah,
so not my fun guy, but Monungai.
These guys have Green Bay's got a 4-game losing streak. They're limping into the postseason at this point. And having Micah new to the team only to go down is a crucial blow. What are your thoughts on this game and their divisional rivals? Let's go ahead, but that's why I let B go first. That's his squad up there, the NFC North. They've already played each other twice this year.
Mhm.
Well,
It's kind of funny. Just sorry, James. It's funny that you mentioned that because Chicago's actually lost Detroit twice and Green Bay beat Detroit twice. So it's kind of funny. But you see, the course of the NFL is not always balanced. So you would think that Green Bay would have the advantage because they can beat Detroit, but no. I just still don't think it's that balanced.
Well, I mean, the Saints swept the Panthers swept the Falcons, and the Falcons swept the Saints. So, I mean, it's a mix up everywhere. Mm-hmm. Jay, yes. But you got a point, though, B. You got a good point on that one. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Well, you just mentioned that the Green Bay limped in the 4-game losing streak. I just think going from that limp, they got gurneys on the side of the on the sideline. They're gonna carry them out on them. This is it. I think Chicago getting back Roma Dunze is going to be a big plus for them. They got all their full stable of wide receivers, their running backs, the tight ends, and it's over. It's over for Green Bay. It's in Chicago. I think, and the Packers, like as you mentioned, you both mentioned that they have players out. You forgot to mention that Dontavius Wicks, he had a concussion. He's been ruled out. He's out.
Oh, I thought he was a game time, so he's out.
He's out.
I don't, but see, I don't usually count none of the Packers wide receivers too much because they're all number twos in my opinion as far as
I agree.
Go. They don't have a number one receiver really. So yeah, that's what that Tyler Kraft is the guy that's really the guy that you miss on offense because that dude was killing them until he got hurt. So
the tight end. I like Caleb and Williams and company too, and I like specifically Ben Johnson to go into his bag and do some things that nobody saw. It's the playoffs, so this is where you're going to see more plays, extensive plays come out that nobody's have film for. So I think this is where Caleb's going to shine, and I think they're going to win by maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns.
I mean, and Ben's been there before. No pun intended. This is why they hired him. I mean, look at the difference Detroit looks like this year. When you lose your OC, you probably will notice a difference. You lose your OC and your DC, you're definitely going to notice a difference. And I thought the Lions would be here, but you, of course, can feel it as a fan. But you guys got what you need to kind of move towards the right direction next season, even though that seems so far away. I do want to say also that I agree with the Bears winning this one. They are wrapping up their time at Soldier Field. They're nostalgic about it. They're trying to build this new stadium on the north side of Chicago, outside of Evanston. Shout out to my late grandmother. That's where she was from. And they're trying to move it basically up out of downtown Chicago. And I've been to Bears Stadium, Soldier Field, and the traffic is atrocious right there on Lakeshore Drive trying to get into that stadium. So for traffic purposes, it's going to be better, more advantageous to be in Evanston, north of the city, as opposed to right off Lakeshore Drive. But I digress because I don't live there and we rarely pay the Bears anyway. But you're right. And I think, though, for me, the most crucial thing is Micah Parsons. This was someone they were basically banking on being that key piece that Jordan Love needed to push them where they needed to, and he doesn't even last an entire season with them. So sometimes hindsight is 20/20. You may be looking back like, well, Dallas might have had a good point. They probably just kind of had this inkling, and they, Jerry, he gets a rough thing, but looks like he had a mindset on this one. All right, I see you do in B more. So let's talk about those games. Sunday at 1:00, the Bills and Jacksonville Jaguars. Y'all, I think this is just Jags' year. I think the Bills have been up and down this whole year. I don't know if we get a different Josh Allen in the playoffs or not. We got, a whole lot of theatrics here and there with some of the players. What are you guys calling this one? 6 and 3 seeds.
Look, it's funny how we talked about, you brought up the fact that in our feed earlier today that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got rid of all their coaches, and because they finally lost. They've been the champions for the past 4 years in this NFC South, and they 5, and now they're losing. I mean, what was the common denominator to me is the offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, that went on to go up with the Jaguars to 13-4.
Ooh, yeah.
And they're going up against the Bills. To me, again, I know B and I maybe agreed and disagreed in regards to this, in regards to the defense going against a 20th ranked rush offense. I still think Travis Etienne can probably get 100+ yards because they're 7 times this year they've given up over 150 yards, the Bills. And the Jags are at home. This is another surprise. I'm going to try to shock the world with this one. I think the Jags are going to beat the Bills, man. I'm just going to take. I mean, I like Josh Allen. I mean, as a matter of fact, I love him. I love his play. I think he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback one day. He's the most rushing touchdown quarterback in league history, and he may get a 1 or 2 in this game. But I like the Jags. I think they're for real. I think Liam has got this team on the right track. He's got the quarterback on the right track, and I think they're going to win this at home.
You agree, B?
Let me give you some interesting facts about Josh Allen. Now, I don't put wins and losses on quarterbacks because it's a team sport. But Josh Allen is 0-3 on the road in the playoffs. Do you know that?
I did.
He hasn't won a game on the road. So that's one strike against him. Then James in the run defense, that's the other strike against him, the Buffalo. The thing is, I still don't believe in Jacksonville. Jacksonville has a defense that was second in the league to Chicago in turnovers. Again, another defense that's covered in discrepancies by getting turnovers. In the playoffs, that doesn't always fare well for you. If your defense is bad, it's going to show up. It's definitely going to show up in the playoffs. And this is the thing about the Jacksonville Jag. And see, I don't know if Trevor Lawrence will go back to beating Joey Sunshine he did a couple of years ago. I don't know. I'm not sure about it. And I like Liam Cohen. I think he's done a really good job with that offense. But at the same time, defense carries in the playoffs, and I just don't. Both these defenses are atrocious. Well, one against the run. Now they have a very good pass defense. Buffalo does very good pass. The top 5 in the league in pass defense. What brings their defense all the way down is that run defense. So it's going to be a battle of attrition with that one because they pass a lot too. And I just got a feeling that I'm not saying Buffalo's going to the Super Bowl this year because of that run defense, but they are whatever. They are definitely.
I thought that was me. I was like, not again. Well, looks like we got.
Well, anyway,
out of here.
I just won't be on here. Obviously, it doesn't like me. Obviously, somebody in Jacksonville pulled the plug on me. Anyway, I'm still going with Buffalo, not by a whole bunch, by about a field goal or something like that. I want to see Josh get his first win on the road, but they're not going to last the playoffs either. I just don't think Buffalo is either. I think the Super Bowl thing, they ain't got to play Patrick Mahomes. They ain't got to play, Lamar Jackson. Yeah, but your defense blows, and every year your defense lets you down. So, there it is.
It blow. You're muted. You muted, J-Train.
They don't just blow; they suck.
Oh wow!
They blow and they suck.
I exit? I think I need to exit. So I will say this: this is what happens when it gets a little bit after 10, y'all. We get the go from PG to straight X. Anyway, I'm gonna say that I didn't realize those stats about Buffalo, but sometimes it could be one of these situations that they want to prove the world wrong. And if they get enough grit on them, they're like, hey, everybody's talking trash about us because we are defeated, this, that, and the third. Hey, B. But I don't say that I think the Bills are going to win for a different reason. I just think that Jacksonville is lit. I mean, they are literally up there, the complement of the NFC as far as rankings. And they are very competitive. I don't see them going all the way to the Super Bowl because I feel like the AFC was going to come down to Denver and the Patriots. If I'm being honest, but I do see Jacksonville getting past this round. And that's the sad thing. You brought up that there's no Lamar, there's no Patrick. Dude, what happened, Josh? This could have been your year. Like you mollywop the Panthers and all these teams that don't really count in your rankings. But when it came down to your own AFC divisional plays from different divisions, you just could not muster up to it. And let's not forget how the garbage Falcons mustered up a win against them as well. So they've lost pivotal games.
They had a very good running game against them. That's what I'm saying. This is the playoffs. All the teams are going to be playing at their top form. They better be playing at their top form. They ain't going to be lasting long. So with Buffalo going into it, Josh Allen has not been the problem with Buffalo. It's that damn defense. And I'm going to tell you right now, if they don't win or they don't even get into the AFC Conference Championship, I'm not sure if McDermott's going to be there for too much longer after that.
Oh, my gosh.
Because he's the one that's got to get that defense together. That's his job as a head coach.
We're going to talk about head coaches as we plug up in a second. We got 3 more games. I'm going to make them real fast because I know y'all got an early morning. I know Jay will be like, all right, guys. So the 49ers game, we saw how beat up they looked in this last matchup against Seattle. They're playing the Eagles. I have not been that sold on the Eagles. That's at 4:30 on Sunday. Who you guys got and why? Real brief 1-2 sentences. I'll go first.
I got it. Okay.
I was waiting. I didn't hear that. Go ahead, Jay.
All right. So I know the 49ers look a little beat up, but they played probably arguably the best team in the NFL. And so I still think the 49ers are still pretty good. And I still think they have really good coaching. The Eagles, they played well down the stretch, but against terrible teams. I like the 49ers to upset here at home in Philadelphia. I like the 49ers to win because I'm going to go with coaching here. And I still, they got their players that are playing with them, meaning Kittle, Purdy, McCaffrey, those guys are playing. That'll be enough. I just don't see, and I think they have a really good defense to be able to
Trent
stop.
Williams is playing.
Yes, to be able to stop the Eagles. And I want the Eagles to win, to be honest with you, because I think they're probably on paper the more talented team. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I think the 49ers are going to upset in this game, and the Eagles will be out of the playoffs.
I'm going to agree because I just am not confident in the Eagles. They just look dismal this year. I mean, maybe it's just a recalibration that they're going through, but I definitely don't see them advancing far. If they skate past this one, it's going to come down to a field goal, and it's going to be very close, and then they're going to get eliminated the next round. B, what are your thoughts?
Well, one thing I haven't heard any stuff talking about the Philadelphia Eagles this year. Because remember the last time they talked stuff about the 49ers, and the 49ers came in there and mollywopped Philadelphia in their own place. So I haven't heard any talk from the players about any of that. I've heard it mostly on podcasts and fan shows and stuff like that. But it's almost set up the same way. I think I don't believe in either one of these teams either. I think that the injuries are going to catch up to San Francisco sometime in the playoffs. That's just inevitable. If San Francisco wins this game, it's going to be a close game. 3 points. I see them winning.
Yeah, and I'm thinking if San Francisco wins, it may be about 6 points. They may eke out a couple, but I'm saying if the Eagles were to win, it's going to be 3 points. But I'm thinking San Francisco is going to win this one. All right, let's move on. We got 2 more games.
I'm just saying San Francisco's going to win. I'm just going to say what team's going to win because that point stuff just be blowing my mind. You'd be thinking it'll be like a 3-point game and turns out to be a 20-point blowout. You never know. Anyway,
that's true. Chargers and the Patriots. I don't even know what the guess was on this, but I'm going to say this is at New England. First of all, I'm so shocked they didn't get the first week bye because they've been so high, but Denver snatched that up. Sean Payton, 3rd year, him and Bo Nix. Okay, we see you. I'm going to say this is where the Chargers run out of electricity, guys.
I'm going to say opposite. I'm going to take another upset here. I like Jim. I mean, I like Jim Harbaugh. I think the matchup to watch is the coaching. And the players are there. The players are going to be there. I think the matchup to watch is the coaching. I like Vrabel. I think he's a hard-nosed coach, but I think schematic-wise, Harbaugh is I wouldn't say genius, but he knows how to work with little. And I think he can do a lot. I mean, we got who's playing? I mean, everybody's playing. And what's the guy's name? The outside linebacker. He's in the game. Mac. Mac's
Yeah,
playing.
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack's playing. Everybody's playing, man. And so I think and Justin Herbert. I mean, he had a bad playoff loss last year. I just think they got some things. I think that defense for the Patriots is okay. It's not great. It's okay. And I think I think the Chargers have a better defense. So they're going to match up with them evenly, I think. And it's going to be a close game.
But I love you to be right, J Train.
I'm going to take the Chargers in this one as an upset.
All right, B.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are looking at Drake May, which is good because Drake May has been playing a phenomenal year. Kind of looking at the schedule that New England's played, they have difficult time against really good defenses. So, as most teams usually do, but if you're a great team that's a playoff team that's looking to go all the way to the Super Bowl, that shouldn't be a problem for you. It just should be a bump in the road. This is going to be a hammer slamming down on a nail for New England because Jim Harbaugh's teams play with great defense. And let me tell you something, the Chargers got really good defense. So I think I'm going to go with the upset too. Chargers by 3 on that one.
Well, I would love that. I still think the Pats are going to pull it out some kind of way. They've been doing Pat things like they always do, even when Tom Brady was there. And they'll find a way to muster through. And I still just think they're going to be one of the last 2 teams standing in the AFC. And as much as it pains me to say this, God, unless the Panthers are able to do the same thing, I don't want Denver in the Super Bowl. I don't want them there. I don't want them there. I don't want them there.
And
now,
there comes the pettiness again.
What would be great? That would be the only time I root for the Patriots. What would be great is if some way, because this is Denver's first time in the playoffs in 10 years as well. If some way we were able to meet them in the Super Bowl, folks would lose their mind. Now that I would make the trip to find where I need to find. But all right, guys, we got one more game to talk about, and then we're going to talk about these coaches firing, and we're going to wrap it up because we're trying to squeeze all this in the next 5 minutes. All right, this Steelers game, y'all. Aaron Rodgers, y'all can say what y'all want. He's 42 years old officially now. Had a birthday last month. But he is literally in the freaking playoffs with another team, and he is really literally getting ready to play the Texans of all people. They back in it. CJ Stroud, DeMarco Ryans with his fine self. They back, okay? I love Coach Ryans. Oh my God, I love him. Anyway, sorry guys. I'll let y'all talk. I'm gonna say that the Steelers are gonna probably get this one. Mike Tomlin, they find ways to get it done. And I just think that this is gonna be experience versus I don't know, novice, rookieism. I don't know how you say it, but because the Texans have not, they've been in the wild card before. So, B, you're about to break your neck shaking it. So go ahead and explain why you're disagreeing with me.
Pittsburgh and never seen a defense like that. Pittsburgh is going down, and they're going to go down hard because Houston is going to come in there and nail them. You got 2 defensive ends that can strike from, and then the defensive tackles are playing really well too. You got the linebackers. There is nowhere that offense is going to be able to run. Nowhere. Because Stingley is out there, Lassiter is out there, they're covering everybody. And DK will go through a meltdown probably halfway through that game like he usually does because Stingley is locking him down. He's going to start quitting. And, they don't have anybody else. They got Thielen, but Thielen's a shell of himself. He's just out there as a second receiver, and he'll be covered. So I'm sorry, Houston's going to beat them. It's not even the only thing that I'm worried about with Houston is their offense. They need to get better as the playoffs go along with their offense because they do need to score points. And if he comes out there like they did against the Chargers and CJ Stroud throws 2 first half touchdowns, first 2 quarter touchdowns, 14 points, Houston's winning the game because all the defense has to do is play after that.
Yep. So I agree with that. Jay, what you think?
So Houston has an outstanding defense. They have like a lights out defense. It's almost generational the way it looks. I just think that I have to agree with B in regards to the offense. The offense is really not the same. It's like total opposite. You talk about Houston's defense right here, their offense right about here. And I think that the Steelers defense is good enough to be able to slow them down to keep the game close. So that I think with the issues that DK had with those missing those 2 games, he's going to come out with his hair on fire, and I think that's going to give some space for or timing for Aaron Rodgers to be able to get rid of the ball quicker because that defense is going to come at him. Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson are just terrible, scary bookends. So they're going to look to get rid of the ball quick, and they're probably going to run the ball. And I think Jalen Warren can run decently. But I'm going with the Steelers here in the upset at home. I think the Steelers have an opportunity to win here. It's just because only reason I'm going against my logic here is because for some reason Aaron Rodgers is in the playoffs, and there's something probably look like it's some magical run they're probably trying to get on right now, especially with Tomlin. Maybe this is his last year. I'm just going to give the Steelers an opportunity to win this, at least this wild card, and maybe by 3. That's it.
Shout out to you, Marcus. My brother's still hanging in there with us. He said, but that defense is dominant, and it's going to be hard for them to hang with. And I want to give a shout out to Marcus because he works literally so many jobs. So for the fact that he's been on here tonight and was on my Wednesday show, I appreciate you, bro, and I love you. That's my little brother. I love him.
Hey, man, on a living color. Him got 14 jobs, man.
Good stuff, James. Look at that. You read my mind. I was going to say that back in the day.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up with some big news that happened with the NFL as far as coaches and some NBA tail-end news, and then we're gonna wrap it up because I know it's just so much. It's so much to pack into 1 hour when it's this time of year. Sometimes like this will all be over in a few weeks. Thank you. And it'll be like, okay, what are we talking about here? We'll find a way, but right now it's just so much information. So I appreciate you guys giving me the extra minutes and stuff, especially with y'all having an early morning tomorrow.
Well, all right, it's gonna be more rough on him than it is on me because I had the day off. He didn't have the day off. So.
Oh yeah, and JB like he'd be like, all right, guys, we might see him drop down in a minute. He might be like, all right, y'all got it from here.
He looks a little more woke than he usually is.
I don't know.
I'm feeling it. Yeah, I faked that when we were talking about with the score of the game. I was like, oh, that's a boring game.
All right,
no, but I am feeling it.
A third of the NFL coaches, y'all, have been terminated. Like, this was not Black Monday. This was like Purple Monday, okay? It was beyond black. It was
Black and Blue
abysmal, like Eclipse Monday, okay? Because there was like no light in sight. We knew about, of course, Brian Daboll being fired from the Tinies after a 2-8 start. They got rid of him, before Halloween. Mike Kafka is the actual interim. And then the Titans decided to follow suit, firing Brian Callahan after a 1-5 start. I mean, they both had rookie quarterbacks, but they still took them coaches on out and put them in the dumpster. Mike McCoy is their interim. Everybody in the A and basically the whole South, if you had an NFC team that was watching anything about Atlanta, y'all knew after week 3, Raheem Morris was on his way out the door after they were routed, the worst in their franchise history by the Carolina Panthers. And just a plug, back in 2014, we routed them 34-0, and they ended up losing their coach that same year. So I guess we're the coach killers for the Panthers. But nonetheless, thank you, Falcons, again. Coach killers for the Falcons. The Panthers are. Raheem Morris, after only 2 seasons, I mean, talk about no patience. They swept him up out of there. Not only got rid of him, got rid of Tony Fontenette, got rid of everybody but Freddie the Falcon down there. And you guys remember when Tony went after Michael Penix Jr., Arthur Blank, the owner, didn't want him. They had already paid Kirk Cousins all this money. So there was already a small, like, hey, you better prove that you're right mentality. And because they were not, he went ahead and just got rid of everybody in Atlanta. So they're looking for everybody. Go ahead and apply online. They'll take anybody. The Arizona Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon, after 3 seasons. I mean, these are single digits coaches that didn't even get to 5 years, but we're getting there. Pete Carroll, I hope he had. I mean, but let's be clear, these guys are still getting paid. Pete is chewing gum at home right now. He was already going to be eliminated anyway because he went to the Raiders, one of the worst teams in the league. But they literally gave him 9 months to build a team. And even bringing Newport, I always call him Newport Gino because he looks like he smokes Newports. One season and he's out of there. They took a gamble on him, and honey, it came back craps. Okay, so they got him up out of there and got running him up out of Vegas, and he's out of there. Kevin Stefanski, the Cleveland Browns, after 6 seasons, now we're moving up towards a little bit more. Kevin Stefanski, the whole Shedeur Sanders saga had something to do with that overall. Shedeur is now their named quarterback. So I have to scale it back on what I said. Shedeur has proved all the naysayers wrong. Sometimes cockiness is just confidence. So congratulations to him. I'm actually rooting for the guy and follow them. But he's out of there. The Dolphins, this was the last one from yesterday. Mike McDaniel, Mr. Flip-Flop himself, Mr. Sandals in Kansas City, and Mr. Residue on his upper lip is out of there. 4 seasons. And this just came out of nowhere. And this is why the next coach may be the one that is screeched into this position. He may be trading in his winter coat for a bathing suit. None other than Lamar Jackson's biggest nemesis, Mr. John Harbaugh, 18 seasons. And I really feel like it was longer than that because I feel like he's been a coach there since I've been alive. Because the Ravens don't make it. And it's like, and right, Marcus, they met with Stefanski. Honey, Stefanski need to go to college and sit somewhere. He don't even need to be, John Harbaugh, 18 seasons, and he's out of there just because the Ravens don't make the playoffs this year. So a lot of coaches, they've been interviewing people. Giants is trying to, everybody wants the most highly thought, of course, is John Harbaugh. I mean, he's a Harbaugh brother. His brother's still playing GM in the playoffs, and they come from a coaching tree in their family and everything. I know y'all are probably going to say the biggest shock to y'all was Harbaugh, right? I mean, we knew there was a little bit of drama, but we didn't know it was going to go down like this. But one more small plug before I let you guys have it. This is something I pointed out and I noticed. Aaron Rodgers, when he was at Green Bay, got Mike McCarthy fired on his actual birthday. Yesterday was Lamar Jackson's birthday, and the previous day was when Harbaugh got fired. Coincidence or not, they got their wish.
That's a coincidence. But I don't know how many people are going to want to go after Harbaugh now because Harbaugh said, you're going to get me for $20 million a year. That's what you're going to get me. If you want to hire me to be your head coach, $20 million a year. He already put it on the table. So, and on that note, too, the Washington Commanders have hired David Blau as their offensive coordinator. He did talk to the Lions to be the offensive coordinator. Yeah, obviously that worked because Mike McDaniel got fired. So the Lions are meeting with Mike McDaniel on Monday to be the offensive coordinator. And then he also has a scheduled interview with the Tennessee Titans on Wednesday.
Yeah, so their OC, Cliff Kingsbury, stepped down from Washington saying he had other commitments. And then their DC got fired. I mean, and then they said the hot seats to watch, though, y'all. They said it's not over. Sean McDermott, like you guys talked about with the Bills, if they don't do something tomorrow or this weekend, they may be switching out people. And then they said Matt LaFleur is still out there. Like both of them are in the playoffs, but they're saying it's if they make an early exit, look for both of them to be exiting up out of their coaching positions.
I think the thing about Miami too, Miami just signed the personnel guy from Green Bay to be their GM. So they may be looking at some other coaches. Mike McCarthy is still out there, but the dude that's the defensive coordinator right now for Green Bay is another guy that they're looking at. And if they do fire, punchable face guy in Green Bay, I'm not trying to invoke no violence, but anyway, if he becomes fired, then that's another guy that they'll be looking at in Miami too. I don't know exactly why Miami kind of coincidentally fired their coach, Mike, when John Harbaugh, because I didn't think they had a shot at John Harbaugh. Sorry, Miami. I don't know if you did that because you thought you're going to get John Harbaugh, but that ain't going to happen. He ain't going down there. He likes the Giants. the Giants got to fork over that dope.
Yeah, and then Matt Ryan's going to be named like player president, possibly for the Falcons. Yeah, Jay, let's take us home, Jay. What were you going to say?
So it was just what you mentioned about Cliff Kingsbury having other commitments. His other commitments is that he wants to be a head coach again. So he's going to be up in the running for other teams. So yeah,
okay,
that was it. But yeah,
he'd be a good coach.
Don't forget Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator, is a big name out there too as well. For Seattle, he's probably in the running for some head coach position. I don't want to. This is one of our discussions for tomorrow, so I didn't want to talk too much on this for our debate. So one of our questions about coaches, what's likely the best destination for a head coach to join. So I'm gonna stay mum on that a little bit and save it for tomorrow.
Okay, he giving y'all a little preview for tomorrow and on the slow pace too, because letting us know that we are winding up and we are about to stick a bow on this. BJ, always a great show as always. Thank you always for everyone coming on, commenting, the likes, loves, and the shares. Thank you for all the comments. And make sure you guys are up early tomorrow at 8 a.m. to see J and B take on Jack with the great debate show. And then Sunday morning, they will be talking about tomorrow's game. I haven't decided if I'm coming or not yet. Let y'all know. If it don't look good, I won't be coming on. No, I'll take it, whatever. I may wake up early enough to get on the Sunday morning sports show. It's at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to my other church on Sunday, so I'll have time to get there and do a little bit with you guys on Sunday. They'll be talking about that and also talking a little bit about the games that are coming up, and you don't want to miss it. And with that, we really thank everybody for joining us tonight and hope you guys have a great weekend.
Just for college purposes, Indiana came out and scored a touchdown, but now it's 42-15. Indiana, I think I don't know what's going on right now.
How much time is left in the game?
Commercial. 14:04 in the fourth.
All right, so you heard it here, wrapping it all up. Indiana looks like they may get it done. And with that, we all thank you guys, and we will see you all next week.
Peace.